Hello, my name is Gabrielle Hubbard, and this is my first speech for Professor Zubricks' class. Can you imagine not knowing anything, that your life has been turned into a blank videotape? Not knowing anything, being confused, and just being lost and hopeless? In Maine, there are approximately 1.3 million people, and 1.5% of those people have Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's, although a well-known disease, is often misunderstood by others in today's society. Alzheimer's is the sixth leading cause of death in America. After the age of 95, there is no chance of a person getting Alzheimer's, and the younger the person is when getting diagnosed with Alzheimer's, the quicker he or she will die. It is challenging dealing with people who have Alzheimer's. Individuals who have difficulty remembering events that have recently occurred are the ones being affected by Alzheimer's. There are no easy ways to address the stress for caring for a loved one who has been affected by Alzheimer's disease. Although treating patients with Alzheimer's can be challenging and difficult, there are a number of coping mechanisms that can be used to help cope with the disease progression. Alzheimer's is one of the most fearsome problems of aging, involving memory loss and mental confusion. Alzheimer's disease is the result of the death of nerve cells and tissue loss all throughout the brain. Eventually, the brain shrinks significantly, changing virtually all of its functions. People with Alzheimer's typically survive 8 years. However, there are some people who can actually live up to 20 years. The course of the disease is based on the person's age when diagnosed and any other health circumstances that they may be experiencing. Earliest Alzheimer's changes possibly will start 20 years before even being diagnosed. Mild to moderate Alzheimer's stages last between 2 to 10 years, and Alzheimer's that is severe can last between 1 to 5 years. There are 10 warning signs of Alzheimer's. There's memory loss, difficulty performing familiar tasks, problems with communicating, disorientation from time to place, poor or decreased judgment, misplacing things, such as putting an orange in a flower pot. There's changes in mood and behavior, changes in personality, and loss of initiative. There are 3 stages of Alzheimer's. There's the early, middle, and late. The effects of the early stages are mild memory loss and usually last between 2 to 4 years. How to cope with someone who has early stages of Alzheimer's. Always offer reminders, be patient, and show your respect. The effects of the middle stages include behavioral thinking and communicating will become a problem. Memory loss is drastically increased. The person will become easily agitated and will need assistance with ADLs, which include bathing, toileting, dressing, feeding, or any other assistance that they may need, such as mobility, and last between usually 2 to 10 years. How to cope with the middle stages. Repeat your statements, speak slowly, keeping a calm voice, and keep your statements short and simple, because if you have long sentences and they're just really complex, the person will not understand what you're trying to convey to them. The effects of the late stages. The person will require total care, has severely disturbed brain activity, which includes difficulty walking, talking, and even swallowing, which is why they need people who are affected by Alzheimer's will need assistance with feeding and may have to have different altered diets where they have thickened liquids or pureed food so they do not choke. And the memory loss is severe and will last typically from 1 to 3 years. How to cope with the late stages. Always make eye contact. Use sensory stimulation and use body language. Because when people are that far gone and lost with Alzheimer's in late stages, it's hard to communicate. So you must always make eye contact, use your sensory stimulation, and use body language. And unfortunately, the end result of Alzheimer's is always death. Because currently there's no known cure for Alzheimer's disease. Scientists are continuously trying to find a cure, but right now there is none. But one day, hopefully, there'll be a cure. So let's have hope, and hopefully there will be, which I believe one day there will be. The right way to treat someone with Alzheimer's is always through dignity and respect. Think for a moment about all the places you have been, the people you have met, and the good times you have shared. Can you imagine what life would be like if you had never met any of those people or done any of those things? Take it a step further and think about everything you learned, even the simplest things such as names of objects such as chair or book. Now, imagine you no longer have access to the information that you once had. It has been simply unlearned. Happen to you, chances are you'd feel very lonely, very confused, and very afraid. Thank you for tuning in for my first speech for Professor Zubricks class. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day, and Happy New Year's. Thank you.